ships. Would that be the consensus? Good trip? All right. Good. That's good to hear. Gotta jump on one of those.
Hey, Darlene, are we gonna see a show?
I think you're in the show, Lucy.
Me?
You!
I hope I remember my lines.
I hope you do too, folks. Oh, I think you will. Come on in, folks. Plenty of room. Now, what I'm saying about these Disney ships, now, usually I'm stuck here when the Disney ships are in, which is great. I love it here.
Hey, Darlene, are these folks ready for a show?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Why don't you ask me?
Well, all right. Folks. Hello. Are you ready to see a show this morning? They might still be asleep. That's all right. We'll wake them up.
Okay.
We'll wake them up. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are not shy here in Liarsville. And we certainly don't want you to be. So please, I want you all to feel free to hoot, holler, laugh, and maybe even sing along if you know the words. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Lucy, why don't you take this first?
She's driving 6 white horses when she comes. Yeehaw! She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. Yeehaw! She'll be driving 6 white horses. She'll be driving 6 white horses. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. Yeehaw!
She'll have to sleep with Grandma when she comes.
Jeff from
But
Bass,
she'll have to
folks.
sleep with Grandma when she
The
comes.
Liarsville
Whoa,
Orchestra.
she'll have to sleep with Grandma. She'll have to sleep with Grandma. She'll have to sleep with Grandma when she comes.
That's right. Yeah, we'll all go out and meet her when she comes.
Yeah, we'll all go out and meet her when she comes. Yeah, we'll all go out and meet her.
We'll all go out and meet her.
We'll all go out and meet her when she comes. And now, no rhythmic silence, no dancing, darling.
Well, all right, everybody now. 1, 2, 3.
She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Yes, God. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Welcome to Liarsville, and welcome to the world-famous Liarsville Hippodrome.
I'm Anita Tension.
I'm dancing, Darlene.
And I'm Lucy Liarsville, the first daughter of Liarsville, and we are
The Liarsville Players!
So, are any of you here from out of town? We like to joke around and have a good time, but I would like to remind you that this is an actual historical location. 119 years ago, this was a thriving city of tents that went from this hillside here all the way to the Skagway River, stretching for over 2 miles on this valley floor.
Why?
Well, you see, it was the last level place before the White Pass Trail began a steady upward climb. So it made the perfect base camp where thousands of people could gather for their last taste of civilization before heading off on the trail in hopes of striking it rich. Here you get a hot meal and a bed in our hotel tent, get your tools and equipment in our smithy tent, get your laundry done, and even indulge in a luxurious hot bath. Clean hot water went for 50 cents. And for all you bargain shoppers, I'm looking at you. Dirty used water was 25 cents. It's true! Now, you may be wondering why this place is called Liarsville.
Lucy, why is this place called Liarsville?
I was about to tell you, Anita! That honor goes to a group of America was just coming out of a depression. So when news struck that 2 tons of gold was found at a port in Seattle on a steamer, a stampede was begun. Naturally, reporters were sent up to report on the gold rush and were supposed to report from the actual gold fields. But when they arrived here and realized what an arduous task it was, and the trail took 6 months to climb, and that each stampeder had to carry a ton of goods on his back, they decided it was just too far to lug their typewriters. So what do you do when you want to collect a paycheck but don't want to do any work?
Well, you could do a show like this.
Or you could do what they did. They stayed right here in this very camp and collected all the tall tales and rumors coming down the mountain and wrote them up as their very own eyewitness accounts from 500 miles away. They even wrote how easy a journey it was. Ladies, tell them how easy it was.
Oh, why all one had to do was take a nice leisurely cruise through the Alaskan Inside Passage.
Enjoying 12 buffets a day and nightly entertainment.
Arrive in Skagway, then take a smooth wagon road known as the White Pass Trail to the
And
summit.
then just a quick little boat ride to Dawson where all you had to do was step off the boat,
Reach down and pick up off the ground potato-sized nuggets of gold.
put them in your knapsack,
Return to Skagway.
safe, sound, and extremely wealthy in just a 12-day round trip.
What a lie! The White Pass Trail was no easy wagon road. It was a narrow, treacherous mountain path that skirted along cliffsides that plunged through bog and mire. It even became known as the Dead Horse Trail. Jack London wrote, "Their hearts turned to stone, those which did not break, and they became beasts, the men on the Dead Horse Trail."
Oh my.
So, when thousands of men came back broken, having failed to make it up the pass and struck it rich, who do you think they ran into?
Who?
The very same newspaper reporters whose fair and balanced stories had enticed them here to begin with, which continues a proud tradition known to this day of never letting the truth stand in the way of a good story. Do we have any newspaper reporters here today? Still not a one. Well, enough history. How about some more entertainment?
Oh, all right.
What? Back in our day, we had what is known as portable entertainment. That's because it's easy to pick up and carry around with you in your head. Some forms of portable entertainment are poetry,
Or singing and dancing.
Storytelling.
oh my goodness, Darlene, what a wonderful idea. Why don't you come down here and tell us a story?
Oh, well, all right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we would like to share with you a story that's very near and dear to our hearts here in Liarsville. Buck and Denali's Great Adventure. The year was 1897. It was early morning, and Buck was gripping a copy of the Seattle Post-Intelligencer. The headline read as follows: Klondike Gold, 68 rich men on the steamer Portland with stacks of yellow metal. Buck looked at his dog Denali and exclaimed,
We are gonna head north and we're gonna strike it rich!
Buck was determined to get the gold. He harnessed up Denali and off they went to Schwabaker's Wharf.
Schwabaker's Wharf!
With steamer tickets in hand, Buck shouted,
Mush! Mush!
and they were off back to the house. The cabin doors flew open. Buck entered and embraced his wife Rose.
Mwah!
He declared,
We are gonna head north and we're gonna strike it rich!
Ka-ching!
Rose was stunned, but Buck asserted.
We are gonna head north and we're gonna find the gold!
Rose began to pack as Buck and Denali hurried to load the sled. 10 days later, Buck, Rose, and Denali were on the steamship Portland along with 1,500 other eager prospectors in search of gold.
North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on.
Days and days went by on that steamer, and all Buck could think about was the gold. It was clear that Buck had it. Gold fever! Denali was loyal and ready to help Buck carry the load. She knew that Buck would depend on her.
North to Alaska, go north, the rush is on.
After days and days, they finally arrived to a town called Skagway,
Home of the North Wind!
Buck and Rose set up their tent in Liarsville, lickety-split. Rose went to Ma Pullens to help make pies for the winter.
Good luck!
With visions of gold and glory in their eyes, Buck and Denali hurried to load the sled. That night, as the moon came up, Denali shook her head in amazement at how big and brilliant the moon was in the frigid northern sky. And she howled and howled. The wind started to blow, and the temperature dropped to 42 below zero. Denali knew they were in for an adventure. It was 5 a.m. Buck checked his supplies.
Do you know that the Royal Mounties require you to have one ton of goats on your slide?
Buck harnessed up Denali and shouted,
Mush! Mush!
and off they went. Around the corner and through the trees they went. When suddenly Denali came to a halt. She could smell something oh so funny, but was not sure what it was. It was big and brown and carried an awful stench, kind of like smelly feet.
Everybody dance now! Everybody dance now!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It is my pleasure. Oh, thank you, Lucy.
Well, Buck, you've done just about all you can do at camp. You came around the campfire, you heard us sing a little ditty. Well, you could check out the gift shop.
I love the gift shop.
It's the very last one you'll see on your entire vacation. Well, I can't think of anything else there is to do.
Oh, I can! Yes. What I have up here is a dirty, rusty pan.
Ooh.
But inside of that pan is something that's very precious to all of us here at Liarsville. And of course, that is dirt. But mixed in with that dirt is a real 18-karat gold that we got right out of Canada.
Hi, Canada.
Well, you see, there was never any gold found here in Skagway. Stampeders had to go 500 miles north to get their gold, and we followed right in their footsteps. That's right. We got in our Hummers, drove up to Canada, bought the gold, brought the gold back here, and put it in each and every one of these pans that we bought on eBay. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is scoop your pan good and full of water. And now you are ready to indulge in what will undoubtedly be the highlight of your Alaskan adventure. This exciting activity. So what I am doing is shaking this pan back and forth in order to separate the dirt and the gravel from the gold. Now, the gold will sink to the bottom because it is the densest thing in the pan. But folks, when you're doing this, you need to make sure that you have plenty of water because, as we all know, breaking up is... Oh, you've seen this show before! Welcome back! And I love it when that happens. So now that all of your gold is at the bottom of the pan, you're going to want to start getting rid of some of that dirt. And so, in order to do that, you are going to scoop your pan full of water, shake your pan back and forth, tilt the pan forward, and pour off some of that dirt. So it's scoop, shake, tilt, and pour. Scoop, shake, tilt, and pour. Scoop, shake, tilt, and pour.